guys, I'm back. Welcome to week 2 of ultramarathon training. You may be wondering why week 2 is coming 2 months after week 1. I'll try to catch you up. I'm out on a wet and windy, not very bright Saturday morning, 6th of January 23. This is my long run of the week and my final run of the week. So I'll let you know how the training's been going and explain why it's taken me so long to get around to doing week 2. So, as you may recall, my training plan started on Halloween, 31st of October last year. Got through week 1, documented that here on the channel, and then started my training for week 2. Did the first run, my right knee was aching the next day, so let it rest for a day, as the plan called for anyway, and then did another run on the Wednesday, and sadly I could feel it during the run, and the following day it was probably slightly more sore than it was. So did one more run on the Thursday, tried to make it nice and gentle, but I realised after that non-starter I was injured again. So I did some diagnosis with the help of Dr. Google. Decided I had runner's knee, and I've had that before, so I was kind of familiar with it, and I started following the same protocols I had first time round to get it fixed, which sadly involves not running for a fair few weeks. So throughout the recovery process I used pain as a guide. First thing in the morning, when I'd start to walk downstairs, I could feel the knee. If there was any soreness there at all, just like a dull ache behind the kneecap usually, that was a rest day. So that went on for quite a while. Can't remember blow by blow the whole 2 months and how it panned out step by step, but yeah, a fair few weeks of non-running was involved before I could start gently introducing walking. Now, as luck would have it, November and December were extremely busy months in our household. We'd sold our house, and then we were living temporarily at my brother's, where he kindly put us up for a few months while we found a new house to buy. Things were a bit manic. We were sharing 2 bedrooms between 5 of us. So the fact that I didn't have to squeeze in ultramarathon training amongst all that, I guess you could say, was a blessing in disguise. Now, as recently as just a few weeks ago, I was beginning to think that the knee pain would never go away, and that I may have to forget about running in the Spire Ultra this year, which takes place on May the 13th. I'd all but given up, but I kept looking for advice, YouTube videos and the like, on how to deal with runner's knee, and I found one that gave me the answers I needed. The guy explained that where your kneecap should normally just run straight up and down in a groove, what happens with runner's knee, in his experience, is that the muscles on one side of your leg get tight, while the ones on the opposing side may be weak, and that just drags your kneecap off track and makes it so rather than running up and down the centre of this groove or canyon, it's actually rubbing against one side. So hence, after a run, it's really sore. So in order to fix this problem, we needed to get the kneecap running centrally again by a combination of loosening up the tight muscle, which in this case is on the outside of the leg, the quadriceps muscles up there, and strengthening the muscles on the medial side. So we've got exercises to strengthen that teardrop shaped muscle, which basically is responsible mostly for leg extension on the final 30 degrees of the motion. So a simple leg straightening exercise until it feels like it's had enough was the recipe for that one. And then foam rolling on the outside of the leg to loosen that up, and boy did it need it. So I carried out the strengthening and foam rolling up both legs, you know, just to keep things even. The strengthening was fine, fairly easy exercise, but I could feel the correct muscle kicking in, so that seemed okay. But the foam rolling, I did both legs just, you know, to make sure in comparison that one was fine where the other was sore, and I wasn't just, you know, rolling somewhere you shouldn't roll and, you know, crushing muscle against bone in a horrible way. So yeah, left leg pretty good, no real tightness there, didn't feel sore when I rolled it. Right leg, as I got fairly close to the knee, wow, I hit a spot there. I was going to say a tender spot, but tender's not the right word. Tender conjures up images of, you know, softness and kindness and niceness, but this was anything but. It was like a pent-up ball of screaming agony. So every time I hit that spot, there may have been one or two close to each other, yeah, I knew there was something there. Made sure I compared the other leg again straight after, just to make sure, you know, I was still in a spot that's okay for rolling. And yeah, the other leg was fine in the same spot, but there was something on the right leg which I was glad to find, really, because it gave me hope that that's what I needed to fix, and in the end I did. So I persevered with the recovery stages, strengthening, foam rolling, focusing on that sore spot, and gradually started to introduce walking, only on days where there was zero pain going down the stairs in the morning. So I gradually built up the distance of the walks until I was going out for just over an hour, and I felt like I was ready to start running again. So I plan to start week 2 of the training again at the start of this week, fresh into the new year, and here we are. Just got to get this long run done. I've done the full week finally. Okay, so sadly it's not all good news on the injury front. The knee's fine, so that's excellent news. But a day or two before I wanted to start running again, I started getting pain in the bottom of my foot, and it may or may not have coincided with the fact that I'd started running in these new Mudclaws that I bought, which have maximum grip, but minimal cushioning. So I love running in them. In these winter conditions, you just feel like a mountain goat. It has to be really sloppy for you to slip at all. But yeah, it's just nice to feel so sure-footed. But I had been walking in them since getting them at Christmas, and they do pinch your toes together at the front. And like I say, there's not much cushioning. And the symptoms I have, according to Dr. Google, of course, seem to be something that's called something to do with your metatarsals, metatarsalgia I think it might be, where after repeatedly pounding your metatarsals into the ground, strangely enough they start to feel painful when you put pressure on them. So I think that may be what I'm dealing with, but it's not too bad. Running actually seems to help, which is strange. I can feel it walking around the house, and it is gradually getting better. But after a run it seems to kind of warm up and soften up. Actually feels good for a while, so with regards to training, that's great news. I think I can carry on. Hopefully get week 3 done, which would be nice. In case you're wondering, this is why I haven't been wearing the hood while I've been talking to you. I forgot to wear my cap underneath, so it kind of blocks my vision and gets annoying. I haven't quite figured out how to adjust it properly yet, but the cap will sort it out. So Monday was first run. I think that was a 5k, maybe 6. Just a steady run. That went well. No knee pain. Dealing with the foot. And then that was supposed to be followed by strength training. Now I have been keeping up the strength training throughout the running break. We've moved house, so I've got my own space now. I've set up my gym stuff in the garage, so I can do all the exercises I need in there. So I've been keeping that up. I've been feeling good for it. and it's really helped. So at this point I think I may have overdone it, ramped things up a bit too quickly, and had a bit of a sore glute with a pain radiating around there and the bottom of my back. So I didn't do the strength training that the plan called for on the Monday, but no big deal. I was up to date with my strength training anyway. I do have my rowing machine set up in the garage as well, but on the Tuesday when I was supposed to do 45 minutes of cross training on that, still feeling like I needed more recovery, and yeah, I decided to rest. It was a horrible night. It meant going out to the garage in the dark and the rain. I was tired and yeah, still feeling that ache in the glute, so I left it. Then on to Wednesday, another run, shortish one. I think it was 5 or 6k again. I'll put it up on screen. Thursday was another run plus strength training. The sore muscle had eased off by this point, so I got my strength training done, and that went well. So tick Thursday off. That brings us to Friday evening, where I had a 6k easy run. Went really well. Got out on the trails for most of it. Hadn't been wearing the Mudclaws all week, just wearing more cushioned shoes, which the YouTube doctors recommend for the problem I seem to have. And although I can feel the soreness under my foot for the first maybe a kilometre, after that it just seems to get better. So, same happened today actually, even in the Mudclaws. Feeling pretty good now, and the grip's amazing. So having done that 6k easy run Friday evening, got up early Saturday morning for the long run, so maybe 14 hours rest between those two, but I think the week's gone really well. Can still run with the foot, and the knees, no trouble at all these days. I keep carrying out the strengthening and rolling every day or two, just to keep on top of it, and it's all good. So Sunday's a rest day. Monday I'll start week 3 unless any more crazy random injuries crop up, and I'll see you in a week's time. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.